Cruising to Mykonos, Greece? Time at this awesome port is all too short. But no worries, we got you covered with our detailed port report, including transport options and suggestions for a splendid time on your own. Plus a bonus discovery we made right outside port. Welcome to Greece. I'm Troy, and this is the Port Lowdown. Mykonos is part of the Cyclades, a 220-island chain southeast of mainland Greece. Mykonos is one of the star attraction islands here. Along with that, lesser-known and hardly visited place called Santorini. But if Santorini is famous as the wildly romantic honeymooner spot, Mykonos is the wildly hedonistic party spot, with thumping dance clubs and beautiful people showing off on the many fashionable beaches. But there's also plenty of history to explore and a wonderful old town to get lost in. You land in the new port of Delos, about a 30-minute walk to Mykonos town, Tora. When you step off the ship, there's a short walk to the exit gate. Facing you also is a duty-free souvenir shop and tender landing spot if you're parked off the dock. No bathrooms to speak of here or at the security customs hut as you exit. For that, walk about 5 minutes to the ferry terminal, where you'll find not just toilets, but a small cafe and snack shop, and ATMs. Inter-island travel is a big part of their tourist business, so this place always gets busy. There's also a local bus stop where you can buy tickets to town or other points on the island. We didn't use this since we felt this is a slower option and somewhat riskier in terms of getting back to the ship if you're going to farther flung places. We didn't notice anyone from the ship using them. Instead, our cruise fell into 3 camps. Ship excursions, who met at the lot on the far end of the dock, private tours, of which there are many waiting for pickups. This is certainly the most time-saving option if you're focused on something specific like a special beach or activity. And DIY to Mykonos town, which was really popular. Here's the thing, getting to town isn't a cozy casual stroll. It's a 30-minute hike along unshaded, sun-baked, and often hilly roads with no sidewalks. And it was hot and humid that day. Everyone wears white and most have hats. There's a clue right there. Pack the sunscreen, water, maybe even an umbrella for shade. Since taxis are few on the island and have a cash-only 4-person limit per car, it's best to compare the following 2 DIY options we got from the cruise line before we arrived. We got this 2-sided card in our stateroom. One side offered a prepaid, ship-chartered shuttle bus for about $9 as of 2024. The catch is you need to purchase this on the ship before your arrival. Now I noticed there are 4 departure times listed also. When you flip the card over, they notify you of independent sea bus water taxis doing the same route for €4. Now what they don't tell you is that this price is round trip. It's actually €2 one way. And although they warn that the lines get long, which is true, there's also more frequent ships coming and going. Myself and seemingly half the ship opted for the water taxis. You get these interesting looking tickets. It looks like there's 3 tickets here, but this is actually 1 ticket. One goes to control, one goes to somebody, and then the other ones are actual tickets. Now, it pays to be early, of course, and I also learned that tour groups were also using these services, which greatly increased the volume. But the waiting really wasn't that bad. The ships come and go at a steady pace. Plus, it's a fun ride. The whole trip took about 10-15 minutes. Adding wait times, I'd say about 30 to 40 minutes total. You pull into town at the north end in an area known as Little Venice, called Mykonos town on the schedule. The water taxis also run to Old Port, which is where buses beat, and also has a nearby car rental office. If you want to wind up here, just be sure to check at the ticket booth if your particular water taxi will stop there. Semantics matter. Mykonos town is on the opposite side and a 15-minute walk away from Old Port. By the way, if you're getting good value from this video so far, don't forget to hit the like button and share with your friends. Now from Mykonos town stop, you have the opportunity to explore the nearby historic island of Delos by ferry. The whole island of Delos is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, one of the most important archaeological sites in Greece, the birthplace of Apollo and Artemis, and a once thriving town and religious center. Tour tickets are sold right where you get off the taxi.
Next departure is at 5 o'clock, return back at 8 o'clock, so you have 2.5 hours in the island.
How long is the ride from
The
here
ride
to
is
Delos?
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yes.
So at least count for that round trip to get back. It pays to be early for this. Our ship got in late, so it was tough to make this and return, but if you can make the timing work, it would be a great side trip. Now, I decided to pass on Delos or the beaches, opting to stroll the old town. Now here's some observations. Mykonos is famous for its beaches, just not here. There's a few small, rough, or rocky beaches, but this is basically a port town, where you shop for high-end clothing and souvenirs, eat at expensive cafes, or take fashionable photos amongst the streets and famous windmills. And this is all well and good, but there's also small museums to explore, such as this folklore museum, and small, amazing churches. You'll find public toilets scattered about as well, the closest one to the dock being this paid one only a few yards to the right as you exit. But the real reason I came here was to wander inside the baffling maze of winding pedestrian streets. You could spend hours meandering, where just a few yards can take you away from crowds and into quiet residential corners, with surprises peeking out from almost anywhere. It's white cobblestone sidewalks with some climbing involved. Add the Greek sun and white reflecting surfaces everywhere and you'll realize why you need a hat and sunscreen. And I gave up on Google Maps providing directions since the signal was weak here. It does track you via the blue dot, but it's fairly useless with specific guided instructions. So getting somewhere specific was a bit challenging. But the area isn't big, so even if you do get lost, it wouldn't take long for you to find your way out. Here, you get lost on purpose. Coming back to the port couldn't be easier. Just hop on the boat at the same place you got off. Now our bonus discovery came at the end of the day when we decided to try this restaurant for dinner, the Matthaios Tavern. It's only a 5-minute walk from the port. How was it? Pretty awesome. To be honest, we had one of the best seafood meals we had in Europe.
It's moist, right?
Oh my god.
And the host was a massive hoot.
Start with a ponytail. Mamma mia.
As an added plus, we got to the ship just in time for a lovely sunset. If you enjoy Mediterranean destinations, check out our other videos right here. And please drop us a line in the comments with your experiences and questions. We love hearing from you.